Hello everyone, welcome to the third round of the Asia Pacific AOC Championship as it takes us today to the Chinese economical capital and to the Shanghai International Circuit. Debuting in 2004, the layout has been known for putting the machines through the tests through the next 26 laps, made of 7 corners to the left and 9 to the right. We will see to the full extent the cornering speed and direction change of these cars through the seemingly never-ending corners of sectors 1 and 2, as well as the top speed and deceleration capabilities through the demanding third sector, which I believe most overtaking to be had, as we have a massive DRS straight from the exit of corner 13 into the hairpin of corner number 14. Of course, someone can take back the chance at overtaking into the following lap, since the last corner to the first is also a big DRS zone. As you can see, we have the C2, C3 and C4 tires. Let's see how it goes in terms of the tire management of every driver. Looking at the standings, we have combined YouTuber taking the lead of the championship as Maranello Baby drops down to P2 after not being able to show up for the Bahrain round of the championship. We have Rivo in P3, Pencil in P4, T-Mac in P5, Speedlust in P6 following his teammate. Then we have Smithy in P7, Apollo Pepsi in P8, BRL Savage in 9th, and Anton Lee, the last of the point scorers, with only 4 points to his name. Moving on to the constructor standings, we have Red Bull leading with 40 points, Renault follows with 33 points ahead of Mercedes, as then we have Ferrari with 26, 1 point ahead of fellow Italian Toro Rosso, as then we have Alfa Romeo in following with 10 points. Then we have McLaren with 8, as they are the last of the point scorers, as Haas, Williams and Racing Point are the only 3 teams without a single point scored so far in this championship. So, with that, we can get ourselves into our lobby. Just sorting everything out in my second monitor real quick. Okay. And yeah, we are ready. And as you can see, we have rain in qualifying. I haven't been notified about the rain stopping during qualifying or what is the weather going to be at the race, but we have an interesting choice here from Rysel, the reserve driver of the Ferrari, going interestingly on a set of dries. Maybe he didn't notice the rain, but that doesn't look like it's the tire to be at the moment, so it's a shame, but it looks like it is what it is. Even though we have Apollo Pepsi, we have all the drivers are on dry tires. I'm not sure why. Maybe the rain is not, maybe the track is not wet enough for the for the wet tires. So the drivers are going to take a risk on the dries to make sure they can put a lap out there on the dries, because of course whatever amounts of water are on the track, if the dry tires are quicker than the wets, then for sure they are going to try to take advantage of that. So, going to get the telemetry and lap data sorted out, as we are going to follow with Apollo Pepsi, the second driver of the Mercedes team. The Australian driver hasn't had the most consistent start of the season. He got 6th place in Austria, but he didn't finish in the points last week at Bahrain. Let's keep ourselves on board as we get on the transition from turn 2 downhill into turn 3. You must be very smooth on the power application coming out of the 4th corner as well. And now the right-hand king of turn number 5 before going hard on the brakes in the rain a bit before 100 meters away from the corner into turn 5. Smooth on the power as well. He managed to get through the apex rather well. He could have used a bit more of the track on the exit, keeping his speed up. Did not do so, so that might cost him a couple tenths. Has to manage his throttle very carefully through these corners. They are very high speed, but in the dry the aerodynamics and the suspension do the job. In the wet you must be more careful with your application. A bit of a tank slapper from Apollo Pepsi coming out of the corner. Let's not forget he is on the art compound. The overshoots, is braking into the snail section, as he is starting the third sector of these tracks. Power planted to the ground as smoothly as he can possibly do. Coming out of corner number 13, now it is a 1 kilometer straight on off, the longest straights in the entire Formula 1 calendar, going up through the gears, pushing the maximum from his ERS before going hard on the brakes once again into corner number 14. Smooth on the power through this kink of turn 15. Now just need to spot the Rolex sign, going hard on the brakes, turning in to the last corner of this track, turn number 16. Rivo has gotten poles, 5Zen with a 145 and a Paul Pepsi in third with a 147.1. Rysel is also close to finishing his flying lap. Oh, sorry. Okay, Richard, thank you for letting me know about that. Forgot to take that away. And yeah, thank you for the heads up. And yeah, it is sorted out now. Rysel is about to finish his lap. Let's see what the reserve driver of the Ferrari does. We still haven't had a race with Tomium in it. Tomium is the second driver of the Ferrari team, but unfortunately hasn't been able to show up yet. And Rysel gets the fastest lap of the session so far, 142.0. The rain is still coming down, but it doesn't look like it's really impacting these tires. Combined due to be still in the second sector. Let's take a look at the Renaults. Speedless is in the third sector. He's about to finish his lap. So let's keep ourselves with the Renault. Speedless who got 4th place in Australia, 9th place at Bahrain. He couldn't quite pull off the strategy he was looking for. His teammate has been a bit more consistent, 5th in Australia, so beaten by Speedless there. But then T-Mac got himself back on the winning column with the 7th place compared to the 9th place of Speedless, who is on the screen, is going to cross over the line, and Anton Lee is already out of the session. Speedless gets the 145.1 and 3rd place with it. Now, let's take a look at combined YouTube as we had T-Mac with the new fastest lap, 141.1, very good lap from the Renault driver. He wants to get back to the good performances after a bit of a disappointing Bahrain Grand Prix. Combined YouTube gets P4, second best out of the hard tire runners, as we are going to jump to the Grey or to Smithy. Now, Smithy is still in the first sector. The Grey is about to close out his lap. Let's see what the reserve driver of the Williams does. Both drivers of the Williams today, they are both reserve drivers. So let's see what they do. Rysel gets the new provisory pole with a 139.1. The rain has stopped, so the times are going to be dropping throughout the session as the track dries out. The Grey is going to cross over the line, and it is going to be... Oh, looks like he actually invalidated his lap. Nimble takes it to the pits. Midi is still in the second sector. Let's see if combined YouTube gets over him or not. I'm not sure. That might be a bit of confusion there. Midi is on 0 on his ERS, so maybe cut a corner somewhere and is nullifying his lap. Is going to conserve his ERS to try to go for a second flying lap. So a bit of confusion there with 5Zen as well, as the Haas who's currently in 6th place. Let's through both the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo. Also there's a Renault off to the side at his T-Mac, second best of the soft runners. Let's see how they go. Let's jump to combined YouTuber. Let's see if he takes the car to the pits or not. He has a full bar of ERS. Let's see how he does. Yes, he's going to take it to the pits. Will Midi have another go at the flying lap? Looks like he does. So let's follow on board. Oh, the curb there, giving him a bit of a scare, I'm sure of that. But yeah, his lap was nullified. There's someone coming through who Ninja Zero managed to slam on the brakes. Good awareness there from the Indian driver. So following with Smithy, who in the previous rounds he did not finish at Australia, but came back with a very positive 5th place at Bahrain. Let's see if he can improve that performance here today. Getting through the first sector very smoothly on the apex of turn number 6, going balls to the wall on the exit, as you must throw the car in. You need to be trusting the car, but unfortunately the car isn't showing that trust. Smitty losing the rear there on the transitions of corners 7 and 8. Now goes very wide through 9 and 10. This hasn't been the greatest of laps from Smitty, but let's see if he's going to try to carry on with it until the end. Downshifts a lot into this last combination of corners before this long right-hander of turn 13. This is going to be waiting for the DRS to be available to him. He's going to get DRS wide open on the back of his Alfa Romeo up through the gears using mode number 5 on his ERS, going hard on the brakes once again, down through the gears, down to first gear actually. Some of the drivers prefer to maintain second as he gets through the second last corner of the track. Now this quick left-hander rather, and he's going to cross over the line with a 136.3, gets him second place, as Apollo Pepsi had in the meantime gotten the fastest lap of the session so far with a 134.6 on the hards. Brilliant lap there from the Mercedes driver. Jumping to the Maranello baby, who's currently in the first sector. I believe he's giving it pins. Yes, he's in number 5 on the ERS, so he's going for a lap where he is pushing. Let's see how that goes for the Ferrari driver. Is going to cross the first sector time. Is not showing if he's improving or losing time, as he didn't have a delta from a previous lap time. This is going to be the first lap time he's going to put in the table unless he gets his lap nullified. Let's see how he does though in the direction change to corners 7 and 8. Must be smooth on the power, especially as you go over the curb on the inside of turn number 10. Sometimes that can destabilize the car. Paul Pepsi letting Maranello baby through. Good awareness there from the Mercedes driver as well, as the Ferrari driver gets up through the gears. Smooth on the power, very well done from him at turn number 13, taking maximum momentum into this 1 kilometer straight. ERS wide open, going down to number 4 on his ERS. Some say it is a more powerful mode in a straight line in terms of top speed. Gives you a little bit more of top speed compared to the mode number 5. He gets back to it. Now at the exit of the hairpin, just this quick left-hander using the track to its full extent, and he crosses over the line with a 133.3 provisory pole for the Ferrari driver. Let's jump to Ninja Zero, who is also on a flying lap. He's about to close out his lap. He's already run out of ERS, which might not help him, but nonetheless, he gets a 134.1. So second place for the Red Bull driver. T-Mac is in sector 2, improving his lap by a second. Apollo Pepsi takes it to the pits. Smitty is going to take to the pits, or maybe not. He's still in the first sector. He's going for another flying lap. We have T-Mac giving it pins as well in the third sector. Let's see. Let's take a look at 5Zen. He's also in the first sector. So let's take a look at the Renault. Again, T-Mac knows he has an opportunity to pull away from his teammate. In terms of the championship, it's very, very close in terms of the Drivers' Championship between both Renaults. So let's see how it goes from them. Smooth on the power, coming out of the hairpin. He's almost running out of ERS. That might not help him. He's already out. That's going to not help him too much, accelerating out of this last corner. Nonetheless, he's going to cross over the line, and it is third place from T-Mac, as we have yellow flags somewhere. It is a 134.2. Yellow flags in the second and third sector. Not sure what went on with it, as Mitty is about to close out his lap. He's giving it full beans once again. Let's see how he goes about that one. Getting through the hairpin, about to approach turn number 16. It does. It's going to extend too much. He went over the curb. Was that too much? Let's find out. And he improves a place by going to a 134.4. Gets him fourth place at the moment. 5Zen is also about to close out his lap. Speedless just started his flying lap on the softs. 5Zen is on the mediums. Can he become the best of the medium runners so far? Let's find out. He gets through the last corner. He's going to cross over the line, and it is going to be 6th place, second best out of the medium runners. 136.0 for the Haas driver. Revo is also out there on a set of mediums. I would actually like to compare where he is on the track compared to Speedless. So Speedless is further ahead on the track. He is on the softs though. Let's see how it goes for the Renault driver, who's going to try to improve on that 11th place. He's the last driver at the moment to set a lap time so far. He's improving by 8 seconds though. At this point, goes over the curb. That might compromise a bit of his exit. Not as much grip over the curb, obviously, but he got the car back on the tarmac, on the grippy stuff. Let's get up through the gears. DRS wide open, mode 5 on his ERS, giving full beans from the hybrid power unit on the back of his car, going hard on the brakes. 100 meters away from the corner, they shave about 200 kilometers per hour from their speed before approaching the airpin, getting to this last corner. Now he has a run out. He's derating at this point. He's going to cross over the line. A new provisory pole from the Renault driver, as Rivo is right behind. He's also improving his lap time by a lot. He's going to cross over the line, and he gets himself on pole. 131.8, 1.1 second faster than Speedless, who was on the softs. What a demolishingly quick lap from this Mercedes driver. Now taking a look down the order, trying to find out who might be there on a flying lap. We have combined YouTuber who just started his flying lap. Pencil is a bit further up in terms of how far he is into the lap. So let's see how he does. He started very well with the 2nd place at Australia, but unfortunately for him, he DNF'd at Bahrain, going downhill through turn 6, 7, and before the approach of hairpin of turn 8, he lost the rear, caught the rear, but that meant the car whiplashed on him, taking him into the wall, and that was it for his race. That was very unfortunate mistake from Pencil, but he had been struggling with the tire wear for a couple laps. He had shown a couple tank slappers before that ultimate incident that took him out of the races. Maranello baby goes out spinning at the exit of turn number 12. He's going to try to gain his composure back, trying to go for a flying lap. Let's see how he does though. Pencil, sorry, that was either Maranello or Rysel. I'm not sure who that was. It was a Ferrari though that had spun in turn 12. But yeah, getting back to the Toro Rosso, as Rev already retires from the session. We have about 1 minute left for the end of the session. Pencil gets himself up to P2 with a 132.4. Great lap from him on the mediums. Maranello is also on the mediums and is improving as combined YouTuber. Gets himself up to P4 with a 133.0. So Speedlust is still in the top 3. Still the best of the soft tire runners. Let's see how he goes about that one. The Ferrari driver, he knows he has what it takes to possibly take a podium here today. Revo is feeling pretty confident that he's not going to get dethroned. Let's see how it goes for him. Maranello baby, let's take a look at Ninja. He's still in the 2nd sector. So Maranello is going to take the last corner of this track. He's still improving on his lap time. He's going to cross over the line, and it is going to be 2nd place for him. 132.3 for the Ferrari driver. Well done from him. T-Mac is in the sector 1. Ninja Zero is in the 3rd sector. Smitty, 5Zen, Nibalil, and Speedless get all shown the checkered flag. Apollo Pepsi is about to close out his lap as Rysel retires from the session. There we have Apollo Pepsi is going to cross over the line. Doesn't improve on that. It's 9th place at best for him. Let's take a look at Pencil, who's still in the 3rd sector as well. Ninja Zero is right behind. So let's see what Pencil does. Is he going to improve to the front row of the grid? Yes, he does. 2nd place provisorily for him. He's now Ninja Zero going to dethrone Pencil. He crosses over the line, but he dethrones Speedlust into the 3rd row of the grid. He gets himself up into P4. The gray now. Oh, sorry about that. I picked the wrong driver, so it shows the Steam profile of Anton Lee. I picked him by mistake. Let's see how it does now. The Grey, is he going to get himself in the top 10? He's currently on mediums. He's going to cross over the line. And it is going to be... No, he doesn't improve. And did he actually cross the line? No, okay. He didn't cross the line in time for another lap. This is it. No, that was lag. Okay, the Grey gets 4th place. Great lap from the Williams driver. So we are going to jump to the official results. Revo just 3 tenths away from Pencil in P2. Compose the first row. Maranello Baby and the Grey in the second row. Ninja Z and Speedless in 5th and 6th, followed by Combined YouTuber in the second best of the Red Bulls. T-Mac in 8th for the Renault, with S Midi in 9th, and Apollo Pepsi completes the top 10 as he is the last out of the top 10 drivers. He's starting on hards. Then we have 5Zen and Rysel in 11th and 12th. Zenton Lee, Nimble, Ill did not manage to post a lap. So while we are getting ourselves ready to start our formation lap, I'm going to show you guys once again the strategies. As you can see in the bottom left corner, the most popular strategies, at least in theory, should be the medium tires from 13 laps to the remaining laps of the race, 15 laps on a set of hards. Or if you start on the softs, you are going for a 2-stop, you take the softs to lap 6th, then mediums to lap 17, and hards until the lap 28. So we're going to get back on our lobbies. Everyone is still going through their procedures. Hey Jair, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? How to get in this league? First of all, you have to be a part of the Asia Pacific countries, right? If you are, send me a message on Twitter or something. I believe you can find my Twitter down in the description. Send me a message there and I'll get you in touch with the owners of the league, and I'm pretty sure they are going to give you all the information they need. So let's see how it goes. Looking at chat, Ray says Revo did a 1:31.1 in practice, so yeah, Revo is astonishingly quick, because we don't have the heads-up display at the moment, unfortunately. Even though they are still in the formation lap, I can't actually see, I can't actually do anything regarding the information on screen. So there you have it. It is Revo on pole, followed by Pencil. The Maranello Baby manages to get P3 after that. Then we have the Grey in the best of the Williams in P4. Then we have Ninja Zero, the best of the Red Bulls. I believe it is the first time Ninja Zero out-qualifies his teammate. I'm not yet getting the information on screen. The game is trolling me. That 2-stop doesn't look right. Maybe that wasn't me who created the strategies, but oh boy, a bit of a tank slapper there. Those guys are giving it full beans already, and they are still in the formation lap. Let's get ourselves sorted out in terms of the details, the telemetry and the lap data. We finally have, and as you can see, everyone else from 8 downwards are starting on the hards, apart from Anton Lee, who is going to try to get the reverse 1-stop from mediums to hards. The Grey is lagging quite a bit there, as you can see. Every car weaving, trying to warm up their tires. It's going to definitely be an interesting start. Skalpesh is asking me to predict who will win the race. I'm going to put my chips on Revo. He bottled his win at Bahrain because he got a bit too greedy and then made a mistake. But yeah, he's very, very fast. Pencil might give him a fight, but Revo, I am sure, is the main contender for this win. Capilace is calling for T1 Carnage. Let's see if his prediction is correct. Of course, there can always be chaos if the drivers aren't careful at the start. Let's see how it goes though. Soon we are going to have the lights on the top right of your screens starting to flash in red. In a moment, everyone is lined up on their grid marks. Let's see. In moments, we are going to get the race start. Maybe my game is lagging. A little bit of a warming up dance from the Grey, shaking up his nerves. Wow, this is really taking a long time. The game is trolling us. Oh, we had one car left. It was Anton Lee. Anton Lee was still yet to arrive. The grid marks. Yes, Maranello is the race winner of the Australian Grand Prix, so he's definitely fast. Let's see how it goes now. As we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. Good start from Revo, good start from Pencil. Not the greatest start from Maranello Baby. Degree is going to get this inside, up into turn 1, up into P3. Maranello Baby drops down to P4. Ninja Zero in 5th. Combined YouTube moves up to P6. Apollo Pepsi with a great start from P10 up to P7. 5 Zen up from 11th into P8. Nimble Hill in 9th. Speedless drops to P10, drops to P11. There's contact between 5 Zen and one of the Williams is thrown into the gravel. He's going to have to let everyone through as Pencil takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Is up into P1. Rivo is trying to chase down the Toro Rosso as the Grey still trying to defend from Maranello Baby. Is up into the podium paint positions. A brilliant start there from the Grey as he actually goes into the grass there for a second, but looks like that was just a lag incident on my screen. The order has settled. Pencil leads, followed by Rivo. The Grey, Maranello Baby is trying to take a look at the inside of the Williams. Doesn't get it done though. Apollo Pepsi up to P7 and Nimble Hill up to P8. The two drivers who have climbed the most positions in this early stage of the Grand Prix. Combined YouTube goes around the outside of Maranello Baby up into P6. Ninja Zero as well up to the top 5. Look at that brilliant maneuver from both Red Bulls. They might actually be contesting each other. Let's see how it goes. Maranello Baby has Prime sitting in the house. Is going to try to switch back on both Red Bulls. Doesn't quite get the power on the exit. Ninja Zero is going to have to contend with Combined YouTube on the inside of this last corner. Let's see how it goes. Maranello Baby does get the better exit. Pencil gets the fastest lap of the race. Of course, he's the first to cross over the line, but you can see the difference in speeders. Maranello Baby not only gets the best exit, also gets slips in from Combined YouTuber, and Ninja Zero has to settle for 6th place at the moment. Apollo Pepsi has been able to defend from Nimble Hill, but the Williams with a great switchback maneuver gets himself up to P7. Great maneuver there. The battle is still not over between Maranello Baby and Combined YouTuber Ninja Zero. We're going on board with him as we take a look at the battle for 3rd place. Maranello Baby got the inside into turn 6. He's going to give the window to Combined YouTuber, though he couldn't get quite the power down at the exit of turn number 6. Rivo is now going side by side on the transition from turn 7 to turn 8. Let's see how it goes between the two. Pencil got the inside, gets himself up to P1. The Grey, he might as well get a bit of popcorn on his lap as he has Prime sitting in the house as Rivo is going once again to take a look at the inside. Pencil is forced to give space. The Grey gets delayed there. Let's see if they're going to get a better exit on those two. We don't know. We have yellow flags at the moment as the Grey is getting himself lagging all over the place. Very troubled connection from him as we have yellow flags somewhere. Can't quite tell where it is. We are going to jump back to Rivo, who's going to take the outside into turn number 14. Pencil is going to have a go through the inside. The Grey can't really take advantage of any of that. Rivo is outside, turned into the inside of the last corner, and he conquers 1st place. There's contact between him and the Williams. Maranello Baby is going to try to take advantage of that. Pencil is going down through the order as he couldn't avoid a trip through the gravel. And now the Grey might as well get himself up to 2nd place. Let's see how it goes. He's going to try the switchback. No, it does not. That though opens a gap for a Combined YouTuber to go up to P3. There's lag, there's contact, and the Grey gets shoved down to P4. There was certainly contact between Combined YouTuber and the Grey, though the Grey hasn't, probably the other drivers can't really take him into account because he's lagging all over the place. He definitely needs to have his internet conditions sorted out for future races. Another big mistake. He goes wide and Ninja Zero moves up a place again. Even his teammate Nimble Hill started outside of the top 10 and is currently up to P5. Brilliant start from Nimble Hill. Very well done. Maranello Baby is already 2 seconds away from Rivo. But yeah, a battle that was getting very, very tasty between Pencil and Rivo. They got too slow coming out of the last corner. The Grey looks like couldn't stop on time. He touched the rear of Pencil, pushed him wide, and that's it for the chances of Pencil to take the win perhaps. Let's see how it goes, as we now have the Williams of Nihilore getting the arrest over Ninja Zero. Let's see how it goes. He's going to try the switchback. Is he going to have what it takes? He does have softer tires on his Red Bull in comparison to the hards on the Williams. He does get around the outside. He's going to extend the corner. Rivo gets the fastest lap of the race, and he does get the maneuver done. Up into P4 is the Red Bull. Now Pencil is going to try to have a go for P5. He's going to outbrake the Williams, but he does get a little bit blocked from the Red Bull. That allows the Williams to come back at him, but he opens up a gap on the inside. Pencil is not going to take any prisoners with that one. He's going to try to put the throttle down. He knows he has the grip advantage over the Williams. These mediums compared to the hards of Nihilore is going around the outside of turn 6. Now it's going to be a traction battle in theory. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper there from Pencil. Great reactions to keep that one under control, and he makes himself up to P5. Coming out of corner number 6 into turn 7. Great battle there between the Williams and the Toro Rosso, and Pencil took the advantage on that one. Is back up into the top 5 places. Maranello baby is just losing time to Rivo, so he must start to look at his mirrors, as combined YouTube is going to have for sure DRS, and we're actually going to look at the cockpit cam, see how much is closing in just from the DRS alone, before jumping to Pencil, who's doing the same on the Red Bull. Oh, there's contact and is in the wall! That was totally uncalled for. Pencil completely swiped Ninja Zero, as he might have damage. Doesn't look to me like he has damage, but he's down to P8. Ninja Zero is now behind the reserve driver of the Ferrari, Racebug. Unfortunate moment there for Ninja Zero, as Pencil just swiped him out of the way into the wall. That might get a slap on the wrist from the stewards. Combined YouTuber has been closing in on Maranello baby. Of course, he's been getting slipstream and DRS for the past couple laps, just hasn't been able to pull the trigger just yet. Let's see how that one develops. They are both on 4-lap old medium tires, so let's see how that one develops throughout the race, as we have Anton Lee battling. Oh no, sorry, as Midi is going into the pits. Maybe a mistake, maybe some front wing damage. He's going to get another set of mediums, and he's going to get dropped down into P13. 5Zen as pit early as well, so he's down to last place. The Grey is up to P11. He's trying to chase the top 10 positions. He's trying to chase Anton Lee for the time being. The Grey has also taken a pit stop of his own into a set of hard tires. Maybe he got front wing damage from his contact with combined YouTuber through turns 3 and 4. Looks like also is... Oh, speedless, maybe a mistake there. Yes, there is a mistake. He actually spun coming into turn 13, and he's down to P9. He's behind his teammate, and that is a two-stop strategy. Very compromised by that spin, as Ninja Zero is battling it out with Racel. Let's see how it goes. The Ferrari driver is going around the outside of the last corner. Ninja Zero is going to squeeze him wide. The RS is going to be open in the back of the Ferrari, though Ninja Zero does get a better exit by virtue of his softer compound on the Red Bull. Is going to squeeze him down to the inside, and he actually... Did he disconnect, or did he... I believe he just lagged there. And that's to contend with dropping down to P7 at the moment. Anton Lee, big mistake from him. Speedless gets into the pits, but Anton Lee drops out. Oh, Speedless in frustration, dropping out of the session. He is out of this race. First DNF of this Grand Prix. Anton Lee is now one step closer to the top 10. Apollo Pepsi is just 6 tenths, now 7 tenths away from him. And the Grey is 8 seconds away from the duo we have on the screen. Now, moving up the order, taking a look at the gaps, Ninja Zero is still pressurizing Racel is about a second away from the Ferrari. Oh, we have Rivo. Rivo didn't make a mistake. Yes, Rivo lost the rear. Coming out of turn number 13. It drops down to P4. Pencil got back at Rivo. What a turn of events. It's now Maranello, baby. The drivers who started in the second row are now 1 and 2. And the drivers who started in the first row of the grid are now 3rd and 4th. What a turn of events there. Big mistake from Rivo. He was comfortably in the lead. Makes a spin at the exit of turn 13. Drops down to a P4. And now combined YouTuber has been closing in on Maranello. Baby hasn't quite been able to pull the trigger. Looks like the pace between these two is quite similar. Just combined YouTuber has been taking advantage of the ERS and the slipstream and the ERS as well to contend with Maranello, baby, throughout the laps. And so let's see how it's going to develop. I am sure combined YouTuber is going to be pushing to take the lead of the race quite soon. Rivo, less than a second separates him and third place Pencil, as they are about 5 seconds away from the lead. Nimble Lil in P5 in a bit of no man's land. Rysel as Ninja Zero right behind him as well. So let's see how that one develops. So Ninja Zero and combined YouTube are both chasing Ferraris. Both Red Bulls are chasing Ferraris, which I find quite an interesting coincidence. Even though Ninja Zero is closing in on Rysel, looks like Maranello, baby, pushed a little bit, found another gear, and has actually denied the arrest from Maranello from the combined YouTube, I believe. Let's see how that goes. Yes, he has denied the slipstream from combined YouTube, so very well done by Maranello, baby. There's enough from Anton Lee. Yellow flags at sector 2 as he comes out. Maybe he missed the braking zone into the airpin of turn number 6. An unfortunate mistake. Rivo using the RS is back on the charge. He's getting very close to the rear diffuser of Pencil. Is he going to be able to take it into this next lap? Rivo 135.8, so he's definitely pushing. He's going to take the inside into turn number 1. Will there be contact? Yes, there was contact. And again, the Toro Rosso gets shoved out of the way. I'm not sure if that's just a racing incident. Rivo, in a good showcase of sportsmanship, lets Pencil through. And it is P3 for Pencil and P4 for Rivo. Again, combined YouTuber has started to lose pace compared to Maranello, baby. Maybe Maranello is a bit smoother on the tires, and maybe combined YouTuber isn't as smooth, so he's now starting to lose out a little bit. Rivo's tires after his spin might also be marked from that, as Maranello, baby, has left the session. Maranello has disconnected. Combined YouTube is going to say thank you very much and is going to take first place. What a misfortunate event for Maranello, baby. This is very unfortunate indeed for the Australian. It's going to be a sitting duck compared to his rivals. Fortunately for him, he's going to have the RS, but he's going to be losing so much time. Hopefully, he can get back in the lobby. Let's see. Maybe the game crashed on him. Maybe he can still rejoin the race in the battle for the podium, as Rivo is very close to Pencil. He's going to try a repeat of the previous lap, I assume. There is already an over 1 second gap from Maranello, baby, to combined YouTube. It is Pencil going into the pit, so he's the first of the leaders to go into the pits. But by pitting this early, maybe Pencil is going on a 2-stopper. Let's see how that one goes. As Ninja Zero has also been losing time to Rysel. The gap is over 1.5 seconds at this point. Richard Gonda is asking, why does my controller keep disconnecting? Because my cable is loose and I can't find a replacement. I just can't find a replacement for now, so I just have to sit still as much as I can to avoid the controller getting disconnected. As you can see, Maranello, baby, is out of the session. Hopefully he can rejoin. If I was his friend on Steam, I would try to invite him back, but I am not, unfortunately. So Maranello, baby, is going to be a sitting duck to Rivo, and the Mercedes is up to P2. Let's see how that one goes, though. Rivo is up to P2. Marinello Baby is already 1 second off. This is very unfortunate. It's saying in chat that he had a power cut. So yeah, maybe you can still try to get back on the race, I believe. Just try to get back as quick as you can. You are still in the contention for the podium. That is quite important points for the championship, I would say. Nihilore is in P4. Pencil coming out from his pit stop is in P8. So he's on hards, but I'm not sure he's going to take them until the end. Marinello Baby re-overtakes Rivo as Rivo goes into the pits. He's going to get rid of his medium tires. Let's see, he's going for a set of hards. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take those until the end of the race, but nonetheless, it is hard tires for Rivo. Is he going to get jumped by Pencil or not? T-Mac has already gotten past the Mercedes. Will the Toro Rosso as well are going to have a great shot of that? Maybe no, he does not. He does close in a lot, but he did get very close to Rivo, so the fight will go on between these two for second place, unless they can undercut Combined YouTube, who has been taking his tires for 9 laps so far. So I would say he's feeling pretty comfortable on that set of mediums. Rivo and Pencil are battling between each other. I don't know if they're just trying to push each other and see if Combined YouTube makes any mistakes, or if he's actually trying to get himself to the race lead. Nihilore gets himself up to P2, so great performance from him so far. As we have another yellow flag at Sector 3. No idea what happened, as Pencil has dropped 1 second behind Rivo. He just can't keep up. And it is Anton Lee out of the session, so that's probably the reason for the yellow flags at Sector 3. T-Mac is now going to start to have to look at his mirrors, as he's going to have a silver arrow filling those mirrors from now until the end of the next couple laps. T-Mac is going to be a bit longer on track, because he started on hard, so he's going to extend his stint. What happened to Rivo? Rivo spun into turn 13 and was leading and lost quite a few positions, so he's down after his pit stop as well. He's down to P7, and he's still pulling away from Rivo, from a Pencil. So yeah, you can see just on the shot right at the back of turn number 4, getting himself ever closer to the back of the Renault. Rysel is still closing in on Marinello Baby. And yes, looks like Adil Shinoy in chat is the Ferrari who disconnected. He can still try to get back on the race. Let's see how it goes though. Hopefully his power is going to get back to him and he can rejoin the race. There's still a possibility, I believe. But there you have it. Rivo is finally within a second of T-Mac. Is Pencil going to... He's too far away. Is he going to be able to? I'm not sure. I don't think Pencil is going to have DRS available to him. Rivo gets a much better exit. Of course, he has 9 laps fresher tires. And even before the DRS zone, he's already ahead. T-Mac is going to try to take the slipstream of the Mercedes. He's actually trying to attack the Mercedes into the hairpin. Let's see how it goes. He's going down the inside. No, he actually backs out. But he breaks so early. Pencil almost went into the back of him. That was quite dangerous. Actually quite dangerous from T-Mac there. Now Pencil is going to be preying on that Renault. Of course, the Renault is going to have DRS. Pencil gets the fastest lap of the race so far. And yeah, you can see just the difference in grip. T-Mac goes wide and Pencil just gets the inside. Easy maneuver and is up to P7. The Renault drops down to P8. Rysel overtook Marinello Baby. It looks like he is still disconnected. Yes, he is indeed. Very unfortunate stuff from the Ferrari driver. And Combined YouTuber in his 11th lap on the set of mediums. So he's actually trying for the one stop. According to the data I was given, he is supposed to pit in about lap 13 to take a set of hards to the end of the race. I expect Rivo and Pencil to be pitting again later on into the Grand Prix. So the top 5 hasn't pitted yet. And Revo is 3 seconds behind Ninja Zero. Let's see how that one goes though. Looking at the up and down the order, we have Ninja Zero close to Marinello Baby. Is actually not going to get the RS, but it is only because the Ferrari is disconnected, so it doesn't look like we have any battles going on at the moment, as Combined YouTuber going to shake things up as he going to the pits for a set of the hard compound tires. The white marked hards are going to be put on the back of and the front, of course, of his Red Bull. As Revo gets another fastest lap, he gets himself up into P3, and Combined YouTuber comes out of the pits behind Pencil and Revo, but those two, I expect them to have to pit, or at least if they are extending those sets of hards, they are going to be suffering on those at the end of the Grand Prix. Marinello Baby takes the pit, and he comes out in P9. Ninja Zero does the same, comes out in P10. Now, taking a look at the front, Nimble Hill, I'm going to take a look. I would like to see, where do I check how many places? Yeah, Nimble Hill and Rysel had started the race outside of the top 10, and they are now first and second. Of course, they haven't stopped yet, but great performance from both the German of the Ferrari and the reserve driver of the Williams. I mean, Rysel is also reserve driver, so both leaders at the moment are reserves. So very well done from them to get from the last rows of the grid up to the first 2 positions of the pack. Very well done. As you can see, they haven't stopped yet. T-Mac has also not stopped yet. So it is going to be interesting to see how everything develops from here on out. Taking a look at Rysel, is he going to the pits? No, he's not going to the pits. They are taking these hards, I would say, for 15 laps before switching onto a set of mediums. Combined YouTuber is on fresh tires. He's just over a second from Pencil. Is he closing in? Let's try to follow him on board for this lap, trying to find out if he is closing in on the Toro Rosso or not. The Toro Rosso is definitely losing to the Mercedes. There's already a 3-second gap between Pencil and Revo, so they need to pull away as much as they can at the moment, because Combined YouTuber, those 4 to 5 lap difference between Combined YouTuber and the cars ahead might be a big difference come the later stages of the race. But yeah, Combined YouTuber looks like he's maintaining the 1.1 second gap to Pencil. Let's see now on this big traction zone at the exit of turn 10 what the difference is. No, it actually looks like both drivers are still with solid pace. So no DRS, at least doesn't look there's going to be DRS for Combined YouTuber. He's using quite a bit of the curbs. Not sure if he's going to get any warnings for that. I'm actually going to take a look at the race director, trying to find out who has penalties. So Nimble Hill has 2 warnings, Rysel has 1 warning, maybe even for contact just in the first corner, maybe not even a corner cutting warning. Revo 0 penalties, or 0 warnings even. Pencil has 2 warnings, Combined YouTuber has 3 warnings but no penalties, so maybe one of those warnings is for contact, possibly at the opening lap. T-Mac has 2 warnings to his name, Degree only 1 warning, Apollo Pepsi already has a penalty, Ninja Zero 0 warnings, Marinello Baby the same, Midi 2 warnings for Midi, and then 5 Zen 5-second stop penalty for exceeding the speed limits into the pits, and gets a warning. Anton Lee and Speedlust have both retired. So Combined YouTuber, as you can see, he has been closing in on Pencil, and the skies are definitely getting cloudy. I haven't been told about the chance of rain, so there might be a rain chance into the last couple laps of this Grand Prix, which would definitely spice things up. Let's see how it goes though. Combined YouTuber is definitely going to get DRS on Pencil at the exit of turn number 13. Let's see how it goes. The top two are still on the yard, still taking them on for 14 laps. Maybe a 15th lap is on its way as well. At least I'm expecting so. The RS is wide open now in the back of the Red Bull. It's going on the outside or the inside. Pencil covers the outside. He's trying to get good enough traction to then get inside. No, he actually goes for the switchback. The combined YouTuber bit like a fish and got outsmarted there. Just got himself too late on the brakes and is back down to P5. Now up into P4 as Nihilore goes into the pits to get rid of his white marked hards, going into the yellow marked mediums, going to take those until the end. Team Mac is going to be the same. Nihilore is going to get jumped by his teammate. No, he does not. Apple Pepsi is already up to P7. Ninja Zero also jumps Team Mac, but all the drivers around him are on older tires, so he can go on a bit of charge. Smitty is catching up to Maranello Baby, who is still not into the lobby again, so looks like he's actually not going to be able to finish the race, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, jumping back into the lead, Rivo is right on the gearbox of Rysel. Less than half a second separates those two. And the combined YouTuber is about the same distance from Pencil as Rivo is from Rysel. Rivo is going to for sure have DRS available to him in this DRS, and we are going to go on board with him just to see the closing speed. Look at the speed difference, and he's going to take it on to the brakes down the inside. Rysel actually goes harder, or later rather, on the brakes, but Rivo gets better traction and gets himself up to the lead. Pencil has been able to defend from combined YouTube as Rysel takes himself into the pits, going to be undercut by Nihilore. Let's see if Nihilore is going to overtake him. It is a question mark at the moment. Let's see. Nice and quick pit stop from the Maranello guys, and here comes the Williams, and he does get through. The difference in grip was very big, and the Grey actually gets a considerable lead over Rysel as Apollo Pepsi is also going to the pits. He has already dropped down to P8. Going to get another set of hards, or is that... Oh, sorry, yes, he pitted to replace mediums to hards. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's currently up into P11. Sorry, down into P11. And yeah, he's going to have fresher tires, but he's going to have a bit of work to do if he wants to get a considerable amount of points. The Grey, 13 laps on his hards. I would expect him to pit rather soon. Let's see how that one goes though. Just looking up and down the order, looking at the gaps. Combined YouTube is already within a second of Pencil, but yes, there are some drops of rain. Rain is coming down to the track. Maranello Baby has rejoined the race, very fortunate from him, and he just needs to take these tires until the rain periods. They are brand new hards. Yes, he just needs to take them until the rain period. The Grey might be getting a very good performance if he manages to hold on to these tires until the rain period. Let's see how that one develops though. Rivo has a 5-second lead over Pencil and combined YouTuber. They won't have to pit again because we have rain later on the race. So the guys on that pitted early, Pencil and Rivo, actually did very well to pit, and combined YouTuber lost too much time getting undercut by his rivals. And he actually has 5Zen, who is closing in, but is a lapped car, so it really doesn't matter much at the moment. We are going to have intermediate conditions soon. We have 10 laps to go, so it is enough time for the track to become wet enough for intermediate conditions. It's going to be very tricky though from now on to the last couple laps until they get on the intermediates, because these transition points might be very tricky. Rivo made a mistake coming out of turn number 13, spun, so if he's troubling himself with traction through here in the dry, Now the transition period is going to be quite interesting to see what driver is up to the task. Let's see how that one develops. As a combined YouTuber looks like he's not as comfortable as he was in the dry. He's already lost about a second in this previous lap to Pencil, who's now 2.2 seconds away from the Red Bull driver. Let's see how that one develops. Looking down the order, no one is within a second of each other, so not really expecting any fights to happen for the time being. Nihilore gets a 3-second time penalty, so if he wanted to take a charge into the podium, is unfortunately for him not going to be able to do so. Just taking a look at the position changes, Revo and Pencil are back to where they started. Combined YouTuber is up 4 places from his starting position, and Nihilore started outside of the top 10. He actually started 14th, he's up 2 P4, and Rysel started P12, he is up 2 P6. El Polo Pepsi also have had a great start, but unfortunately he also made a couple mistakes that threw him down into P10 at the moment. Now, let's take a look at the stops. Everyone is on 1 stop apart from Apollo Pepsi and Fives, and of course, as I was saying, those were the mistakes they made. They got front wing damage, had to repair it, so an extra pit stop for them. Apollo Pepsi is still in the points paying positions though, and maybe with a solid rain performance he can gain some positions. Let's see how that one develops from him. As it has been raining for 2, maybe 3 laps, we are still not watching drivers dive into the pits for a set of intermediates. Nihilore is actually closing in on combined YouTuber. He's not much per lap, but he has softer, fresher tires, so that's going to be an advantage for the Williams driver. Degree is on 15 laps old hards. If it doesn't become intermediates, he might get a puncture. He's really stretching those at the moment. So yes, did he pit already? Yes, he has pitted already, but he pitted at lap 5 then. So maybe front wing damage forced him to pit, because I don't recall him starting on the soft tires. So he has had wing damage, took a pit stop, is back up into P5, so great recovery drive, but now he might actually have a puncture if it doesn't become intermediate conditions very soon. He's praying to the rain gods to rain just a little bit harder in the laps to come, I am sure of that. And it's going to be the roll of the dice from him from now on. If he actually manages to survive until the intermediate conditions, he's going to be very lucky. Of course, there's always the possibility of it never becoming intermediate conditions, as we have Smitty, the first one to take the risk and going into the pits for intermediates, was actually going to follow on board with him. The camera, it wasn't helping me. Let's find out. Is the track conditions enough? I don't think so. Yeah, a bit of a lost gamble for me there. The DRS hasn't been disabled. Typically, once the DRS is disabled, that means that in terms of the delta of the lap times, the intermediates become quicker than the hards, and therefore the DRS is disabled. The DRS hasn't been disabled. We didn't get that message from race control yet. It might be in the next lap or in the next 2 laps, and the Smitty will be undercutting them as we will get back on the traction, or get back to having traction, while the others are still struggling on dries. But for the time being, look at that, it's actually going to the wall, and that might have been front wing damage. Yes, it is front wing damage from Smitty. The race goes from bad to worse. Degree, he can't handle that anymore. He needs to take the risk. He's going on intermediates. It's not yet the time to go for intermediates, so he's going to take the gamble. Actually, the game is showing me as he's still on hards. Maranello Baby manages to have a go around the outside and gets himself up to P8. Great maneuver there from Maranello Baby. But for some reason, why is Degree still showing to me as if he is on hards? I'm going to take a look at the race director. I need to confirm that one. Degree is not showing. Degree is not showing what tires is on, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on at least another set of hards. If he's on hards, at least it's another set. He's definitely not still on 17 lap old hards. Let's take a look though. Up to oh, it is Apollo Pepsi now pressurizing the gray. And it actually gets through. So yeah, you can see how much the gray is struggling on his intermediates. He's definitely showing the other drivers that those are not the tires to be on for the time being. So let's just take a look at Nihilore, who is now only 6 seconds away from combined YouTuber. We're going to take a look. I believe he has 3 seconds of penalties to his name, but look at it. He's actually closing in on combined YouTuber. The gap is just over 5 seconds at the moment, and you can see how slow Midi is. It's just really, it took a gamble that just outright didn't work. 5Zen is going also for that same gamble. I don't think it's working at this point. I think the RS is still enabled, and Smitty just goes off on the brakes, even though Nihilore there struggled a little bit to slow the car down and to get turned in into turn 6. You must be careful now. He's actually letting the car off the throttle completely through this transition. As you can see, the rain is really starting to pick up. I'm giving the drivers one more lap. At the end of next lap, I am sure they are going to be pitting, or if not then, by lap number 24, they are sure dropping into the pits for a set of intermediates. The gray finally is stuff updated. He is on intermediates, but he's having the revs glitch. Everyone is having the rev glitch. Marilyn baby is also having the rev glitch, unfortunately. But yeah, Revo very comfortable under these conditions, already 8 seconds away from Pencil. Combined YouTuber 6 seconds behind Pencil, is dropping time, and Overfist is really not comfortable under these circumstances. Nihilore is closing in quite rapidly. The gap is already 3.5. Nihilore is getting about 2 seconds per lap on combined YouTuber. He goes wide there at the last corner. He needs to be careful to not gain a 3-second time penalty. So Nihilore does have at this moment a chance of taking home a podium. Let's see how it does. Combined YouTuber took the race win last time around at Bahrain, got 3rd place at Australia. So every single race he's taken a part of, he has taken a podium. Let's see how that one goes. Can he keep that streak alive? That would be good to see. Him and... sorry, not even Revo, it's just him. Combined YouTuber is the only driver to finish every race in the podium so far. 3rd place at Australia, 1st at Bahrain. Is the only driver to take podium so far, as Maranello Baby won at Australia but did not start at Bahrain. Revo did not start at Australia and got 2nd place at Bahrain. And who finished P3? I don't remember actually. I think it was Reisel, the driver, the reserve driver of the Ferrari, took himself P3 at Bahrain, I believe, but he didn't take part of the season opener of the Australian Grand Prix. As you can see, Nihilore has been closing in. It's already 1.2 seconds gap between combined YouTuber and Nihilore. Is really struggling, the Red Bull. Really struggling for traction around this lap. And Nihilore is for sure setting his marks on the gearbox of combined YouTuber to gain as much slipstream as possible. Of course, he might get caught up. He needs to be careful about that. He might get caught out by the fact that he's now on slipstream from the car ahead, and therefore he has less downforce in the front wing of the car, so the stopping power is going to take a little bit of a knock. The DRS is still enabled, and Pencil is going to take it into the pits. Pencil is going to change for intermediates. Let's take a look. It does look like, yes, he's going to pit for intermediates. We have 4 laps to go. This is going to become intermediate conditions. Nihilore overtakes combined YouTuber, moves up to P2. Reisel moves up to P4. Revo, he has the gap to manage. Is he going to pit for intermediates, or is just going to lift off, try to not make any mistakes, and nurse the car home in P1? We are going to find out. It is only 4 laps left. Unless the grip drops off considerably, DRS hasn't been disabled, which means in terms of the delta, the dry tires are still the tire to be on. We are actually going to take a look at the onboard with Pencil. I think the intermediates and dry tires might be very close in terms of their efficiency at this point. Maranello Baby is also switching onto the intermediate tires. So, oh boy, a bit of a tank slapper there at the exit of turn number 7, and a bit of drifting action, a bit sideways there for a Pencil as well. So yeah, it's not still, the track isn't wet enough for intermediates. It's almost there. It's not quite there yet though. Combined YouTube has already dropped 3.5 seconds to Nihilore. So great performance from Nihilore, from 14th on the grid up to P2. This is my driver of the race, ladies and gentlemen. It's going hard on the brakes once again for the Arpin. A bit of lockup, and finally DRS is disabled. Finally it is time to go on intermediates. Revo is going to take the pit stop, is going to the intermediates. Nihilore is doing the same, is combined. Oh boy, almost Hamilton being pulled off from Nihilore, as he almost not only went wide, almost tried to, almost spun it, trying to correct it into the pits. Combined YouTuber does the same, so Revo is going to come out ahead. Potentially, yes, Revo is ahead by leaps and bounds. Pencil gets himself up to P2. Nihilore is still ahead of Combined YouTuber, as Nihilore, Combined YouTuber and Rysel go into the pits. Ninja Zero is also in the pits. T-Mac also is going to switch for intermediates. Apollo Pepsi as well. The Grey was already on the intermediates. Maranello Baby as well, so they might gain some position from this. The Grease is going to move up to P8. He might actually move up to P7. 5 Cent gets up penalty, and the Grey moves up to P6. Ninja Zero actually jumped T-Mac in the pits. Maybe T-Mac had to replace his front wing. The truth is, the Red Bull is up to P7. T-Mac is down to P8. The Grey up to P6. Great performance from both reserve drivers of the Williams team. None of the Williams drivers are racing at the moment, so it is what it is so far. We don't have really full-time drivers yet for the Williams team, but nonetheless the reserves are doing a great job, taking them to P3 and P6 at the moment. We have now a battle between T-Mac. It's not actually a battle. 5Zen is supposed to be giving up the position. Sorry, is supposed to give up the possession since has been lapped. Smitty is still going around on softs. The race is definitely over for him. Now, let's see who is more comfortable in these wet conditions. Smitty is going to open up for the Grey as he's getting shown the blue flags. For sure, the Grey having to do a bit of counter steer there. He's actually going to have to navigate himself around midi. That can get dicey. And he managed to get through without any incidents. Is he now going to start closing in on Rysel or not? Let's see how it goes. The penalties might still play their card in the final results. Revo though is dominating, 15 seconds away from Pencil. Nihilore in P3, Combined YouTube in P4, Rysel in P5, Degree up to P6, of course, Ninja Zero P7, T-Mac P8. Maranello Baby still holding on to a points paying position. Unfortunately, he was leading the race when the power at his house went out, so he is going to be content with, of course it's frustrating, but it could have been worse. He could have dropped out of the top 10 entirely, as he had yellow flags in the third sector. Maybe Smitty struggling to get traction on those softs is finally going to switch onto a set of intermediates. 2 laps to go here at the Shanghai International Circuit, round number 3 of the Adrenaline Online Championship, Asia Pacific League, as it's also going to be a front wing replacement from Midi, who crashed on the first lap of the intermediates. He was the first one to pit to switch from dry to intermediates. The gamble didn't quite work out for him. Now T-Mac is having a battle with Maranello Baby. Maranello Baby is much quicker and actually pulls off the maneuver. He is up a place. Rysel drops down to Degree. Degree though, oh, it looked like for a second Degree was letting Rysel back again, so maybe there was contact, but it looks like not. There was no contact. Outright battling proficiency from Degree, moving up to the top 5. Both Williamses are now in the top 5. Going to take a look once again at the number of positions improved. The Grey qualified in P4, but he had a very laggy start, so he dropped down the order. He was in P11 at one point, he's back up to P5. Nimble Hill though, 14th on the grid, up to P3. Great performance, my driver of the day, I would say. And yeah, just overall great performance. Let's get ourselves to someone who might be battling. Team Mac, is he gaining or losing to Marinello Baby? Let's find out. Even with the slipstream, he hasn't been able to challenge Marinello Baby, so I don't think Team Mac is in a position to come back at the Ferrari driver. The Ferrari is 4 seconds away from Ninja Zero. It's going to take 4 seconds into laps. We are going to find out rather soon. Nimble Hill, is he closing in on Pencil? He might be closing in on Pencil. I don't know if he's going to be able to take 3 seconds on him, especially as Nimble Hill has a 3-second time penalty of his own. But he does seem quite comfortable in the rain in comparison to the Toro Rosso driver. Maybe just a setup that has been prepared for the rain from the Williams driver, and that's why he qualified so down the order. But yeah, he's taking time at Pencil. Let's see how that one develops. Marinello Baby is also taking time at Ninja Zero. Marinello might move up to P7 and Nimble Hill might move up to P2. Let's take a look at the race director real quick. I would like to know if Pencil has any warnings to his name. He has a penalty. Pencil has a penalty and Nimble Hill has only one penalty as well. So it is going to be on-track battle if Nimble Hill wants to take second place. Yellow flags in the sector 2. Not sure who they are for. Another wide moment from Nimble Hill, but the gap is less than 2 seconds now between the Williams and the Toro Rosso. 28 lap is now on course for Rivo, and just comfortably, he had that major mistake, but he was able to undercut, taking advantage of the fact that the rain was coming. He undercut YouTube by pitting 5 laps earlier, and then the rain came, so YouTuber wasn't able to take to the full extent his mediums. He actually just should have started on mediums and then pitted for mediums again, perhaps. Maybe that strategy, maybe it could have taken them to the rain, I don't know. But yeah, Combine YouTuber should have pitted earlier to take advantage of the medium tires. Rivo and Pencil, they had pitted for hards because they had started the race on mediums. So if Combine YouTuber had gone onto the mediums a bit earlier, he would have kept himself ahead potentially. But it wasn't what happened. Rivo and Pencil managed to get their way back to the front. And just well, in this case, 3 corners to go for Rivo, the Australian of the Mercedes. This is it then. We just have 1 corner to go. He's going to take this quick left-hander, no trouble whatsoever. And this is it. Rivo is going to cross over the line to take home the win of the Chinese Grand Prix. Pencil, he has a Nimble Hill biting on his heels at the moment, but it is not enough. Great performance from Nimble Hill, but it's not quite enough. Pencil is going to take home the flag to get P2. Nimble Hill in P3. Combined YouTuber is going to break his podium streak. He was the only driver to finish every race in the podium so far, but the streak has been broken. He's going to take home a solid 4th place finish. The Grey, he had a great qualifying start at P4, then he had a couple mistakes on the race, drops down to P6 at the end. No, he actually moves up to P5 because Rysel had penalties of his own. So the green 5th Rysel in P6. Is Marinello Baby going to take advantage of penalties from Ninja Zero? They cross over the line. It's P7 from Ninja Zero. Marinello Baby in P8. T-Mac in P9. And Apollo Baby is going to be the last of the point scorers. Then we have 5Zen in 11th. And Midi with a disastrous race. After a solid 5th place at Bahrain, Midi is going to finish the race in P12. So, yeah, he's currently getting through the last straight of this Grand Prix. And looks like he's just going to retire as he just disconnected his controller. I am not sure what he's trying to do at the moment. But, okay. It is what it is. Yeah, his tires are not going to stop like that if he has grass on them. Oh, guys is going for just some celebratory donuts then. I'm not sure if he has enough fuel to do this. The camera isn't really helping me. I didn't really want to go on board because it's quite loud. But a bit of celebratory donuts there from Smitty. At least having some fun at the end of a disastrous race from the Alfa Romeo driver. And he actually crashes into the wall. Doesn't manage to break the car. And is actually going to cross the line. My controller is trolling me and is going to cross over the line on reverse. As he actually jumps 5 Zen at the end of the race. How the hell did he pull that one off? Okay. So yeah, pretty soon you are going to have access at the host has left, which might troll us a little bit. We might get stuck on the loading before the podium, but we are going to have to wait at least 10 seconds until that one, until the game realizes the race is over. But yeah, Revo takes the win, Pencilpy to Nimble Hill. Great performance, climbing 11 places from his starting position. And yeah, we are not going to jump into the podium celebrations, unfortunately. So yeah, guys, this is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. Hope to see you guys next time. Stay with the polio celebrations. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.